Hello all, this is Birch92 here, bringing you an updated Harpie deck profile. Right in, just kick things off. Straight off that, I run two Harpie Spec Dragons still. That hasn't changed for me. I like the rank 7 build, and when we get the new Red Eyes coming out, I'm going to be running the Exceed in this deck. So, yep, two Pet Dragon, and then standard 3 Harpie Channelier. Because discard a Harpie card from your hand. Especially on any Harpie module in defense, so new with Pet Dragon. Because as long as you have a Dragon out 2, this covers 7. So that's how you bust out your rank 7. Then 3 Harpie Queen. Discard this card from your hand, add Hunting Ground. Also, it's a good 19 beat stick, it comes in very handy. And then the newest addition to the deck, 3 Harpie Harpists. This card is really good. You don't really get to use the first effect that much, it's more the second effect you use. But the first effect, if this card is normal summoned, and you control another monster and your opponent controls a monster, return those targets back to the hand. So if you summon this with no other monsters, you can't use the effect. But the secondary effect is the best one, because when it's sent to the graveyard, that could be through Mathematician, through an Exceed material, stuff like that. You can search out a Wind Beast monster from your deck with 1500 attack or less, making this very good in the deck, make it very fast. And we'll explain some of my choices of what cards I use. I use 3 Harpie Lady ones. I run no Cyber Harpie because of Harpists, for the sheer fact that Harpists can only add 15 or less, and all these are 15 or less. So it's just to open up more targets really. Plus, if you revive these with a set party, all your monsters gain 900 extra attack points, so it's pretty good. And for you to know, if you control one, all wind monsters gain 300, that includes your opponent too, so if you're up against your Senju and stuff like that, you just got to be a bit careful from what you have out really. Right, and then the last Harpie Lady we use is, I use the single dancer. I find one's enough personally, as it's when it's normal summon you can bounce back any Harpie Lady on your field back to your hand and normal summon another. So this is really great with hunting around. It's great to bluff out a card as well. If you've got Chandelier in hand, you got Hunting Ground out, they've got 2 set. Alright, Dancer out first, they may activate something, or misplay something, often the case, because they assume this goes up to 15 and try and bottomless it. As Hunting Ground gives it 200, it only hits 14, so they often misplay it before you declare your target. So, yeah, people out there who play against Harpie Ladies, let the Harpie Lady player pick target first before you activate anything, because it will destroy anything, and if you activate something, they can just hit it. Also, if you try and Phoenix Chain these, it won't work if Hunting Ground's already out, because this summons, Hunting Ground automatically activates in response to that summon. And so if you Phoenix Chain this, turn it not into Harpie, turn it back in Dancer, Hunting Ground can destroy Phoenix Chain regardless. So there's just no point really. It's just fair warning to you. Alright, the non-Harpie Ladies, I run 2 Mathematician. I need to get 2 secrets. Well, I've got 1 secret and 1 gold, so I just need to get rid of that gold for another secret. This card is really good for opening first hand, because you just go Mathematician, send Harpist, then Harpist Spectre in the end phase, you just add Harpie Channelier, is the main one you do add. But he's really good for the opening first turn. Then I run a Zeph, 16 attack, gains 200 from Hunter, making it 18, making it pretty good. But his main effect is if you've got a face-up card floating on your field, you can bounce that back to your hand and special summon him from the graveyard at the cost of 400 life points. And you can only use the effect once per duel. But that's still pretty good in my books. It's a Wind Beast as well, so it opens up some of your Exceeds. And the last one is Miss Valley Falcon. I've been recently testing this card. It works actually really well, I find. Because when it attacks, you've got to bounce 1 card on your field back to your hand. So if you've had enough of Hunting Ground, or you've got a Hysteric Party floating, or Phoenix Chain floating, anything that floats, you can just have her attacking it. Alright, I'll just bounce the floater back to my hand, just reset it along with some others. That's why I like her. And of course, with Hunting Ground, she goes up to 22, making her the strongest beat stick. That's easiest to summon, should I say? Well, Pet Dragon is the strongest, but since she's got the same, and she's a lot easier to summon too. Right, that's the monsters for you. Onto the spell cards. 3 Hunting Ground. Every time you normal or special summon a Harpie Lady, you can destroy 1 magical trap card. This is the card I was on about. If you finish chain to Harpie Lady, or say Chandelier, Queen, or Dancer, this card will just go off regardless. So make sure your opponents declare their target first, and then you activate whatever you want. But of course, if you MST this, see if they activate this, you MST this card will go off. I don't think will work because it's the same conditions of tanking, I believe. I mean, so if I'm targeting the face down card and your other face down to an MST and you activate it on this to save it, but this won't work because, well, I'm not 100% sure personally, but I reckon it's the same conditions of tanking. But if you know, please let me know because I would love to know. Then 3 Hysteric Signs. When this card is activated, you can add an Elegant Egotist from your deck or graveyard back to your hand. So this card comes really good. That's my little dog. He just said, having a wolf at me, wanting to play ball. Good girl. Right. Shush. Right, yeah. And also, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can lost track now. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can pretty much add any 3 Harpie cards from your deck to your hand, but they all have to have different names. So you can add a Chandelier, a Hunting Ground, and a Queen if you wanted, or Chandelier, Dancer, and Harpist. That's the main thing, really. So you can drop this from your hand to activate something, and it will still go off in the graveyard. So it's pretty handy. Then from that, we run 3 Pot Duality. I was really against this to begin with, I have to admit, using this in Harpie Ladies. But for a first turn opener, it's actually really good because you open up Mathematician in this, it's just, yeah, oh, I'm not going to special summon my first turn anyway, so Mathematician, send off Harpist, and then you use this and just get more of your back row set up, which is pretty good. And for you who don't know, everyone should know what this does, but I will say it anyway. When you activate this card, you reveal the top 3 cards to your deck, add one to your hand, the rest go back to your deck, and you can't special summon for the turn. That's all that does, but with Mathematician, it's a pretty good first turn opener. There I've got 2 Swallow's Nest. This I can find very handy. This sometimes helps push us forward to win, because if you've got several monsters out and you're just attacking them directly, and like just get that extra monster out and just game them. Also with Hunting Ground too, because you can tribute of your Harpie Lady Dancer, for example, but then summon out another Wind Beast monster. So you've got Hunting Ground out, you can just pop an extra card if you need to pop that last card they have. So it's pretty good. Also, it helps remove the target. So if they finish chain bottomless composed, just activate this and just swap out the target pretty much. So then it misses. But yeah, for this card though, you tribute one when you face up Wind Beast monster you control, especially summon another one from your deck as long as it's the same level. That's it. It doesn't matter so if the attack points are high or weak. If it's higher or lower, you just special summon another Wind Beast monster as long as it's the same level, so making that pretty helpful. And then just for the single cards, we've got an Elegant Egotist, Parallel Cyclone, and Regeki. Elegant Egotist, when activated, you can special summon 1 Harpie Lady from your deck or hand, as long as you've got a Harpie Lady on the field. Parallel Cyclone sends 1 spell trap card on your field to the graveyard to destroy 1 card on the field. I was debating double Cyclone over this, but I chose this in the end because this is going to destroy monsters as well, so that can sometimes be come in very handy. And then of course Regeki just destroys your opponent's sides of monsters. So yep, that's all the spells that I use. Traps, let's see, there's only 7 trap cards I use currently, most of them are in the side deck. So I use 2 Hysteric Party. I only use 2 because I find I draw this often first turn, it's just often dead. But yeah, with this, you discard a card from your hand and special summon as many Harpie Ladies from the graveyard as possible, which can often be the game in pretty much, because you get this out, get your 3 Harpie Lady ones out, 2 Queens, and you've just got so much power in that one field, and your opponent can't do often much about it at that stage. So we got 2 of those. I also run 3 Venus Chains. I much prefer Venus Change over Breakthrough Skill, because this also prevents your monster from attacking. So if they attack with an effect monster, you activate this, and not only negates that effect, it also prevents them from attacking. They can still change their monster into defense mode, but yeah, I just find this has more uses. This card's helped me out so many times. It's just what I prefer, really. It's just Venus Chain over Break, and then just 2 staples I use, Solemn Warning and Compose. I thought about swapping this out for Bottomless, but I thought there's so many cards that prevent destruction, so I just do a bouncer instead. And plus, so many things get their effects off once they're destroyed as well. Like shadows, for example, if they're destroyed and sent to the graveyard, if they get the effects, I just use this and just bounce. Just for an example, anyway. And then warning, just yeah, warning. Right, we'll go to the extra deck next. Let's see. We run one cowboy, an abyss dweller, steel swarm roach. With all these shadows, quill forts, and other high level decks at the moment out there, I thought this guy just has to be used. Exiton, one lightning Chidori, Diamond Eye Wolf, Heartland Draco, Catast, 2 Ice Beast Selvine, favourite card in one of my very favourite X-Seeds, 1 Harpie Lady's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. This card also comes down yes. Harpie Ladies cannot be targeted for an attack or by card effect, including him, and he can attack directly 3 turns. He can attack directly 3 times, but of course just once a turn. Unless you find a loop, then yeah, let me know. Then a 101, and then just a Black Ship of Corn, number 11 Big Eye, and Dracosac. I'm not too sure what I would take out for the new Red Eyes XC. I was contemplating Dracosac, but Dracosac's got far too many uses for me. And plus now I've got my very nice tokens. Not Dracosac tokens, but nice tokens. I'll just show them off quick. I've got a mate of mine called Paul who makes tokens. So I asked him to turn 3 common Harpie Ladies into my super rare Harpie Ladies, the normal version, into my 5 tokens. So yeah, they're my Dracosac tokens, Harpie Lady style. Alright, the side deck. I warn, I have not rebuilt that many side decks, so this may not be what you were expecting, but this is just how I've built it. It's not finished yet either. I think it's missing a few cards. I think. Let me just do a quick count. 3 cards, yeah. I know what one of them is. This is because I've only got 1 copy, so I'm missing 2 cards pretty much for it. Alright. Effect Failure for hand support, because this deck's got really no hand traps at all, so I thought Effect Failure, that would just be good to stop stuff like JD and it's just stuff like that really, just anything that may threaten the whole field, Exiton 101, stuff like that. Rainbow Karibo. I run this because if you choose to main deck Mathematician in still, this card can be good. If you don't want to, if you know what your opponent's running, and you know they're going to hit you very hard, very fast, saying this from graveyard can be something that's good, or have it in your hand is also pretty good, as it can negate attacks and prevent your monster from attacking. So that's pretty much all the monsters I use for this. I've got 1 Special Hurricane. I want to use 2. This is one of the cards I'm missing, so I want to run 2 of these, because all you do to activate this card is discard a card from your hand and destroy all special summon monsters on the field. And I think that's pretty good, especially in a deck where you discard a card and you get so many pluses from it. So yeah, I was placing main decking this, sorry, but I just didn't have the space for it. So I just side decked. Then we got Grave of the Super. This card I find pretty good at the moment as well, because this prevents all level 6 and higher monsters from attacking, all level 6 and higher special summoned monsters from attacking, sorry, and they cannot activate their effects. It doesn't negate the effects, they just can't activate it. So, for example, if your opponent summons JD out, you change this to summon, they can't activate this effect. If they activated the effect and you change this to the activation, JD's effect still goes off because it has already been activated. So you've got to be careful on when you use it. It's best to use it on the summon and just hope it doesn't get MST'd. Now use 1 Macrocosmos. This card can backlash badly on Harpie Ladies, but with Hunting Ground out, and your opponent often wanting to destroy this card, you can able to bounce back to your hand with Zephyros or Falco, or just destroy it with Hunting Ground. So this card, you can get rid of it easily yourself, but mainly you just use this during your opponent's turn if they're going to just Synchro or Exceed like crazy or something, just go macro and just watch all their stuff just die. Then I use Siding as well, 2 D-Dunks. I like using D-Dunks. That's because this prevents your opponent activating. Well, if your opponent activates a Necro Gardener or an Effect Failure, this card negates it, and plus then it banishes it as well. So any hand support or trap, any hand traps or grave traps, this will just stop pretty much, which can come in very handy, I must admit. And just because I like these two cards, I put them in my side deck. Trap Trick Nightmare. Because pretty much when your opponent special summons a monster and activates the effect in that turn, this card activates, plus negating and destroying it. So it does come in very handy. Your opponent doesn't often expect you to side it in, personally, but I like it. So yeah, with that, that's the whole Harpie deck. So this is Sean Birch 92 saying thank you for watching and keep up the fight.